Because it had more interior volume, the X-24A lifting body was duplicated for a new joint venture between NASA and the European Space Agency. A large-scale crew return vehicle would allow 7 astronauts to quickly leave the station, and landing was entirely automated. This had an advantage over the Soyuz because more passengers could be carried, and unplanned emergency exits from Soyuz had a high likelihood of landing in an ocean or in unfriendly territory. Cross-range capabilities of the lifting bodies gave the crew better chances. After several completely successful test flights of the X-38, NASA canceled the program, citing priority spending requirements on the increasingly expensive shuttle fleet. NASA also cited shuttle budget priorities after developing the X-40A, or orbital spaceplane. It is a small shuttle using completely contemporary technologies far ahead of its larger sister fleet. In fact, it has the modern new thermal protection system that makes the brittle, fragile shuttle tiles look like a dinosaur from the past. After cancellation, the United States Air Force bought it from Boeing and flew it as the X-37B atop an Atlas V afterburner. Model A's first flight, which I saw launch, accumulated as much space time as Discovery did over 30 years. Model B then flew for even longer, and Model A is currently back in space on a second flight. An upscaled X-37C is being optioned with a manned version. The X-33 was a low-maintenance, high-turnaround lifting body shuttle that used a new technology called linear aerospike engines to achieve orbit without attached tanks or boosters. The engine was tested aboard an SR-71, but the project was grounded when ceramic fuel tanks cracked. I think NASA should keep working with Lockheed on this. A launch-sited haystack near Dryden was built, but was never used. The launch would have been over land. Atlantis on 39A, Ares 1X at 39B. I was never a fan of the overpriced Ares Orion constellation, and the disappointing results of this test proved my instincts were right. It never flew again. Bigelow supposedly is secretly working on an asymmetrical capsule design that can be controlled on a cross-range during re-entry. They are also making space tents. Nothing excites me more in the commercial contract arena more than SpaceDev's lifting body that picks up the original plans for cheap, low-maintenance human spaceflight. Unlike the capsules, this design is limited to low Earth orbit, but it can be used again and again far more effectively and cheaply than hauling the mass of the shuttle to space and back to transport humans. It would use a ULA Atlas V for the afterburner, and any cargo the shuttle would carry can already be more cheaply launched aboard the ULA Delta rockets. SpaceDev was bought out by the Sierra Nevada Corporation recently. Apollo took amazing photographs from the moon, but in truth they really didn't capture very much of it. The political people will tell you that despite all of the utopian benefits of manned spaceflight, the true purpose was strategic American dominance in space. I don't question that ideal for a second, yet I strongly disagree with anyone that believes the shuttle played a strategic national role in space after Challenger was lost. The Department of Defense did have a few flights aboard the shuttle, but moved to the EELV program, which has produced cheaper and far more successful launches completely independent of NASA's space program. But NASA has achieved greatness in its goal to explore new worlds, to boldly go where no man has gone before, and ironically, it is in the unmanned side of NASA. Some say we haven't gone back to the moon since Gene Cernan left his footprints there, Actually, we have, and we learn more about the moon in a month these days than the entire program taught us in its entire existence. Meet LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, a probe that takes surveys of the moon in several wavelengths about once every 2 weeks, orbiting at 30 miles altitude, or about the altitude of shuttle booster at separation. This really does stand out as one of the things that will, right alongside Hubble, to be remembered for many generations to come. Boeing is working on a capsule design that may either rival or complement Lockheed's ongoing Orion project. I think we can prosper from this competition in the same way that we have cheaper cars because of competition between different companies. Some of the Orion pictures are dated because they go back to a time when Lockheed was trying to fly them with the Ares afterburners. The one part of the canceled Orion Ares constellation program I really did like was the next generation capsule design by Lockheed. Space enthusiasts are still talking about a manned return to the moon, but now we have the track record and experience with both ISS training and technology to go straight for Mars, actually as soon as we collectively decide. I would take this Mr. Musk guy very seriously when he says he's in a space race with NASA to get to Mars first. Some of his ideas seem kind of impractical, if not physically impossible, but he's really going to be competition for both his competitors and NASA. And unlike some others, his capsules can survive re-entry. Orbital is another likely survivor in this new commercial space race, and what really impresses me about them is their unique capability to launch toward the ISS in a descending node orbit out of wallops. And I really don't think that's been tried anywhere else. And here's where I was watching two sides of NASA. Grell reluctantly flying on a ULA and not NASA afterburner, and another item washed up on Cocoa Beach that may indeed be from the Challenger debris field. Everything that was Challenger may never go away. Everything that was Grell is now gone.